say so.
Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Three Borders Sports Network. You're watching the Giants Coaches Show, and it's powered by Red River Communications. Good evening, everybody, and welcome once again to our Three Borders Sports Network studio here in downtown Wahpeton on Dakota Avenue, right in the Red River Communications offices. I'm Joe Schreiner, Brian Watson off to my right. B-Dub, it's been a couple weeks. You remember how to do everything?
I thought we did this on Wednesday nights.
We do, didn't we?
Yeah.
We're on a Tuesday night.
We're on a Tuesday night. We'll see.
Surprise, everybody. We're on a Tuesday night.
We'll see if everything works.
Well, there's a special reason we're doing it on a Tuesday night this week because somebody's leaving town tomorrow, so I suppose we better do it tonight so he can be a part of the show.
Yeah, we got work to do, man. We got work to do.
We'll talk about that a little bit later, but congratulations to you and the Lady Huskies.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Everybody, and I'm sure including Jeff as well, and everybody else on the show here too. So, and all the fans watching. Once again, the Giants Coaches Show, and we're powered by Red River Communications. And right now, we are joined for the final time this year, probably at least for the winter season. Jeff Ralph. Jeff, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, appreciate you coming in after a couple weeks of layoff here. Last week didn't quite work out for everybody here. We had a lot of things going on too as well, but we're back, and we're here to wrap up the boys' season here. So,
you mentioned Brian and them. I think it's great. I mean, I know how hard it is, and congratulations to them. I am gonna.
Oh, here we go.
I joke with Brian a lot.
Here we go.
okay,
Here, see, and
I was waiting for it.
I'm gonna disagree with him on one thing he said in the newspaper because I don't think it's true.
Okay,
He said he thought the stars aligned, and I don't think so. The reason I say that is because they beat Devil's Lake, who was a 6 seed. They were a 7 seed.
yeah,
And then they beat West Fargo, who was a 4 seed. They didn't back in by, some upset like the 8 seed beat out the 4, and then they got to play the 8.
good
They
point.
beat a 4 seed, and yeah, okay, the stars align, whatever. But those girls on Saturday, and he asked me the other day, when did you feel good about it? And I said right after the half, I thought, we're good here. We're good.
Yeah,
And it was so fun to watch and see them to make the free throws, which they did all year. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, all year long.
Don't get to see a play, but and then the best part for me, I mean, I'm excited for Brian and Rod and Gulan and Lake, but the last 6 seconds or whatever, we have the ball, and Lydia Model is jumping up and down and up and down, and then somebody throws her the ball, and she jumps up and down with it, and the referees are they're letting it go because they want the game to get over.
yeah.
But I think there you go right there.
Yeah.
I mean, the bench was doing it and all that, but she was on the court, and she just couldn't stand it. She was just so excited, and, I couldn't be happier for Coach and for the girls, and it's awesome for our school because, I mean, I know how hard it is to make
it
it.
is.
And they played a great game and executed a game plan, I think, to a T, and it was awesome to watch.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. It's funny because I've watched that clip over and over again, and I didn't notice that she got thrown the ball because they were talking about it. And they're like, well, did you know that Lydia traveled? Did you see her travel? I'm like, what are you talking about? Yeah, she caught the ball, and she just kept jumping. And I'm like, yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty cool.
I was on the way home from Perham doing that game over there for the Cowgirls, and had it on. Of course, well, yeah, I had it on when I was driving. But anyway, I noticed that right away, and it's like, oh, wait a minute, she just traveled, but they're letting it go. Good point,
awesome.
Jeff. Yeah, it was very good. What'd you think of his gritty, his dance?
We
I was waiting for you to mention
we
that.
don't need to talk about that. I keep my promises. That's all that I can say is I keep my. They said I was going to have to do it if we got to state. Oh, I guess I said I'll do it if you make it to state. Yeah, sure I will. Well,
How can you top that?
Well, it was either that or I had to shave off my goatee. So, I'm not shaving off my goatee. So,
funny.
no, it's good. It's been a fun run. So we appreciate the support. So, thanks. I appreciate that, Jeff.
Awesome.
All right. Okay, so we'll get back to the boys here. And, Jeff, you had a little tough go here when you took on Fargo South. And in the play-in game there, it lost by 6, but the boys gave it 100%. You had the lead. It went back and forth. I saw bits and pieces of it, too, as well. And a good effort by the boys, for sure.
We really played, I think, the last 6 games of the season. We played pretty well. Our last regular season game at West Fargo on that Wednesday was rough.
Yeah.
I mean, they're very good, and we struggled with them a little bit. Just the pressure they put on us and the size they put on. But Saturday at South, they made a run to start the game, and we got it back to, I think, 4 at half. Caden hits a 3 to cut it to 7.
Kind of a one-hander 3 the way it looked.
Well, yeah. Then they come down and for some reason just jack a shot and miss right away, and Ethan gets one of his bazillion rebounds in the game, and kicks it up to Hockert, and he puts it on the floor. And we use the clock a lot in practice, and we always shoot that desperation shot. And I mean, he kind of threw a one-handed 3 in, and now it's a 4-point game at half, and we're in it, and all the momentum is for us.
Yep.
And I think that's something we have to take into this offseason now, is that we can play with these teams. And Fargo South, I think, was a very good team. They had size, they had speed, they had good shooters, and they had quickness, and we did a nice job on them. And it was just a matter of our guys, being able to manage some possessions. And we got down early, I think by 12 or 14 or whatever, got it back to 4 at half, took maybe a 4-point lead in the second half. And, then they come down and hit a 3, and then it's 1, and then you don't score and they score, now you're behind again. But I really thought the boys played great. Jaden King in that game, his first start of the year, and really I think if he plays without foul trouble, we probably win that game, because he was really limited in his minutes. Ended up with 13 points for us, and I think had 8 rebounds, and was just solid around the basket all night. And was causing trouble defensively for them too. So, he was just kind of a kid that we were waiting for all year, and would have a good game and a bad game, as maybe a sophomore will do. And we just thought, with Fargo South size, we got to go with
length,
with Jaden and his length. And I thought he just played great. And you know what? That should be just a huge stepping stone for him moving forward.
Yep.
But we had solid production out of Ethan again. I didn't write down what his rebounds were in that game. I don't know, 10, 12 points probably.
Yeah, Ethan had 8 points, 20 rebounds.
8 points and 20 rebounds. I mean, 20 rebounds is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's great.
And I think over the last 10 or 12 games, he averaged about 16 a game. He had that 25 game and 20 there, and had 18 one time. And but his presence inside was big against Hamilton and against Kegba. And then Caden Hockert. Well, let me go Caden Kappas first.
Sure.
Just a solid line all year. Caden averaged 7 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 turnovers on a team that turned it over 20 times a game. He only had 2 as our point guard. It was really solid, and was solid in that game. And I think his leadership was big for us. Riley Timian, I did my end of season talk with Riley, and we were talking about how we need a bench next year. And Riley's like, yeah, I played the whole game and I thought back, well, yeah, he did, because we had foul trouble, and he was in there, and he played the whole game. Caden never came out. Ethan never came out. So we had some guys log some minutes, and that's something we're going to have to look at for next year. But we had an opportunity to win a playing game and get in the tournament. Unfortunately, it didn't happen, but I think we walked away from that game feeling like we should be okay moving forward.
Yeah, and you mentioned that, Coach, too, and that's what I highlighted here in my notes, too, was the last 6 games there that you played with the win over Valley City and Central, and you played Shanley tight. Just how the team started to come together, basically a junior varsity team that started coming together here at the end of the season.
They really did. I think it was different guys. Riley Timian, Jackson Cluton, I think really played well down the stretch. Had a rough game at South, got a little foul trouble and got knocked around a little bit and never really seemed to get going in that game, but he had a good season for us. And Caden Hockert, he just had a phenomenal season. Disappointing for Caden, and it's selfish for me, but he was 9th in the EDC scoring with 16 points a game. He was 3rd in free throw percentage, and he was 3rd in attempts. This isn't a kid just jacking threes.
Right.
He was 79% from the free throw line, 3rd in attempts. He led the EDC and made threes with 65, and then he had 6 against South that day. He should have been all conference.
Yep.
And then you look at Ethan too. Ethan averaged a double-double. 12 points, 11 rebounds, led the EDC in blocks. And, it's hard to get one guy all conference when you're 10th.
Yeah.
But like Coach and I talked about today, sometimes it's about how good kids play. And there were, I think, 7 guys all conference who didn't score as much as Caden did. And, it's not all about scoring, but he did so much more for us, and he was a person they had the game plan for. So that was disappointing, but I just feel really good about the guys we have coming back. I think about, we talk about our seniors, Blake Schaefer and Jacob DeVries. Really for 2 seniors who came off really good, fantastic football season, and then, to have diminished roles on a basketball team, how are they going to respond to that? And I think how they did really says a lot about the kind of people they are, the kind of parents that raise them, and that, they were in it for the team. Blake ended up with an injury at the end, but Jacob was as positive a kid on the bench and in practice every game, and for seniors it's tough when you're not in there playing, but we never saw him complain, never saw him make a face because they weren't in or whatever, and I think about those 2 and what they gave to our program this year, and just some leadership and just some views as to what it takes to be a good person and a good teammate, and they certainly were that.
Certainly intangible benefits that they bring to the table for sure.
Absolutely.
It just, you mentioned Caden Hockert and where he was in the EDC. I was surprised too as well, like you said, and you both, Brian, and you guys attend the EDC meetings, and I'm sure there's things that go on there that you don't talk about publicly and probably don't want to talk about publicly, but I would assume there was, I thought he should have been on there. I guess I'll just say it at that.
And it's too bad when you lay down the list of kids, the questions that's posed to you then is, well, who are you going to take off?
Yeah.
Well, I think everybody deserved it.
Right.
Yeah.
But then I think maybe this is a year where we might have to have 20 instead of 17.
Right.
And I don't know what and this isn't a participation award either. You have to earn this. Yeah. We're not just giving this to, but I think sometimes we lose sight of the fact that a player like Caden or a player like Ethan, even though they were on a team that didn't do very well, they had individually really good seasons. And averaging a double-double is not, that's not easy. No. And for Caden to do what he did with essentially the defense stacked against him, it says a lot about his ability. And I think next year, I think Caden Hockert, you better have a little chip on your shoulder about, hey,
right.
Let's show these guys really what they maybe missed last year. But again, when I talked to Caden about it, he's like, well, it's about the team. So that's good for him.
At the end of the day, that's good. That's
but
what
I
you
think
need.
next year, I think it's going to make our team better.
Yeah.
We look at the guys we have coming back. We have essentially our top 6 guys coming back next year, and guys who of those 6, every one of them was in the gym last night at Open Gym already. So I think they're hungry. I think they really are, and they're all baseball players. And Coach Kappas and Coach Lundsetter, their baseball coaches. If the snow ever melts, they're going to be all in baseball. But it was really nice to go in the gym last night and see some guys come in, and we played for an hour, and it was fun to see them. But I think they're excited, and I think they're ready to.
They know that there's something in the future.
They know there's something there. And you know what? Looking forward, I look at our 9th grade team. We got some good kids coming back, C Squad JV varsity, but we had a good 9th grade team this year, and they went at their conference tournament or the FM league, whatever they call it. They took 5th place, so they were, I think, the 5 seed and got beaten the 4-5 game, and then won their next 2. And so went 2-1, which, as coach would say, you've got to win 2 before you lose 2.
That's right.
If there's a state tournament, they'd have been in it. So I feel like we have just a bunch of good kids coming, and it's a matter of doing a little work, but a matter of them being confident in what they do. And I think that was a big hit for us this year, early in the year, opening with Cheyenne, and then going to Davies, and we got pounded pretty bad. And our schedule flipped over a little bit now next year, and we're not going to see them until we've had a couple games on our belt, and I think we'll play better going into those.
Awesome.
Yeah, those early games can be tough, but I just think, I think about us last year being 3-19, and then where we were able to get to this year, because we did have a core group coming back. And I think that helps, having that year under their belt, especially for us, having some young kids, some 8th graders who are playing their first year of varsity, and they're still learning this year too. And I still feel like sometimes we're just a JV team, but you can see that there's progress there, and I think the future is bright for boys basketball coming back next year.
Yeah, I really do, and I'll be honest with you, it's been a few years since I've been. I mean, we're 4-18. It wasn't a great year, but this is excited as I've been about a group of kids coming back, just because of what we have. I think a few years ago with Darwin coming back and Rader coming back, and our perimeter Ed Vasquez and Zane Dow coming back, we were pretty high on them. We didn't know how good we'd be, but I feel like this team is right there too.
Yeah, that team went to state.
Yep, and that was our last trip.
Yeah, and they had a tough year the year before that too.
And we did. Yeah, it was kind of the same deal where we struggled and we got in the tournament, but we're out in 2, and but I feel like this crew, and it's not going to be easy.
No.
When you look at the league, Michael Nile, the player of the year, is gone, and Cheyenne loses some guys, but they're in reload mode.
They'll just reload. Yeah.
Davies going to lose a couple guys, but Claybo's back. North is going to lose a couple guys, but they have Zeller and Sem back, and the other Sem's playing now. But we got a good crew coming. I think we're solid, and I think we saw down the stretch what this team can do.
Yep. Well, Coach, again, hats off to the seniors, Blake Schaefer, Jacob DeVries, and thanks for all you've done for Husky basketball and obviously for football too. But B-Dub, I forgot to mention that we had a birthday. One of the 3 of us had a birthday last Thursday, I think.
Well, I know it wasn't me. I'm old
me
enough.
either. So happy belated birthday, Coach. So happy
42 again.
Are you?
42 again. Yeah.
Good for you, man.
15th time.
Yeah.
So I suppose golf season's starting pretty soon.
We are. We're about a month out yet before we can start practicing. And we're always worried about it. Is the snow going to melt sometime? But I think we'll be fine in a month. We might be inside for maybe an extra week or something.
Sure.
But, something's going to open up. We've already talked about maybe going west if we have to, or going south. And that's going to be a young crew. We had 5 seniors on that crew last year. So be a young crew, but some kids who want to play, and that's exciting to see too when you got freshmen that are excited to play.
That's right.
So.
All right. So there it is. That's the season wrap there for the Husky boys basketball squad. Jeff, anything else?
No,
Your notes covered?
3 Borders. My last line. I want to thank 3 Borders for doing this. Our programs get promoted, I think, so much more than maybe other people, and it's because of you 2 guys right here doing that for us, and I really appreciate it. And I really appreciate the coverage we get. When you're 4-18, maybe you don't deserve it, but our kids do.
Yep.
And I appreciate we get on the air.
That's what we're trying to do. Just every program, any chance we get, we're trying to give them a chance to show what they have and put them on display, and you guys do what you want with it. But that's what we're trying to do.
I'd love to see B-Dub out on May 23rd, walking with a antenna on. And,
Here we go.
and
Here we
talking to Jackson Cluton on the
Here we
number
go.
3 tee box.
Come on, man.
Do my best parody.
Yeah. Get the English accent going, or whichever accent that he's got.
Yeah.
All right, Coach Jeff Ralph and the Wahpeton Boys Huskies basketball team again. Thanks, Jeff, for joining us all year long and being a part of the program. So,
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Appreciate your comments as well. We'll be right back. Ryan Brandt with the BW Storm wrestling team coming up right after this.
Did you know that we serve nearly 1,500 square miles across North Dakota and Minnesota? Or that we've been around for over 60 years? How about that we've got 3,000 miles of fiber optics powering one of the best networks in the region? The best part? We're a cooperative. That means we're continually reinvesting in our communities to make them better than ever. We are Red River Communications. We've been recognized as a leader for helping our communities be great places to live and work. To find out how we're helping connect our communities, visit redrivercom.com/connect.
Insurance is an important safety net for your family, your home, and your business. Carlson Family Insurance Agency is your local auto owner's insurance provider. At Carlson Family Insurance, they work for their clients, not the companies. Customer service and satisfaction is their #1 goal. Give Carlson Family Insurance a call for all of your personal, farm, business, and crop insurance needs. 701-672-6002 or at cfiagency.com. Carlson Family Insurance, your auto owner's insurance agent.
At Interstate Engineering, our business is about connections. We connect people to water, communities to counties, and counties to the rest of the world. Our work connects main streets to interstates, and yesterday with the potential of tomorrow. With over 40 years of connecting, our experience and expertise are thanks to the clients we have earned, the trust we have built, and the connections we have made. Interstate Engineering, the professionals you need, the people you trust.
Brooder's Butcher, Highway 75 North Breckenridge, believes in community, customer service, and the goodness of meat. Brooder's Butcher provides quality raised and butchered beef at an affordable price. From raising cattle born on family farms to butchering and preparing the meat for your dinner table, they are that dedicated. Stop into their store located Highway 75 North Breckenridge or check them out online, broodersbutcher.com.
Founded in 1972, Mindak Farmers Cooperative is owned by nearly 500 sugar beet growers and has a rich history of sweetening life in the Red River Valley. Join Mindak's team today. In addition to an excellent pay and benefit package, they are currently offering a $2,000 sign-on bonus for all full-time positions, which includes sugar loader, packager helper, extra gang, and yard person helper. Entry-level starting wage in the factory is $19.73 per hour. Apply online at mdf.coop/careers or contact Denise at 701-671-1338.
Since 1996, Giants have been a go-to snack for quality. Giants works directly with farmers to ensure you're receiving the best Giant seeds in every bag. From planting to harvest, they ensure the quality and attention sunflowers deserve to deliver the best taste possible. Giant's cashews and pistachios continue our tradition of making the finest nut available. They're a fan favorite. Whether you're in the mood for dill pickle, sour cream and onion, or bacon ranch, we have the flavors to satisfy your cravings. Giant Snacks, where quality still matters. That's the Giants difference.
Welcome back to Three Borders Sports Network, the Giants Coach Show, powered by Red River Communications. I'm Joe Schreiner, Brian Watson, and we are now joined here by head coach of the BW Storm, Ryan Brandt. Thank you for coming back in the final time for the winter sports season anyway.
Yes, thank you for having me again.
It's been a few weeks.
It has been. Yeah. The snow has kind of put a damper on a couple of them.
But put a damper on it, and then we had park board meeting, and then last week we had last week games or something, wasn't it?
We had playoff games, right?
We had a playoff game last Wednesday. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, we were kind of busy too. So glad you came back, and we're here to talk about some. I think the state tournament there, didn't we? Did we talk about the EDC at all?
I can't remember fully.
I don't know if we got.
It was a while ago. We who knows?
I've got EDC written on here too, but I don't. You guys finished. I show 6th here in the EDC. Does that sound about right?
Yep, we finished there.
So good finish there. You were hoping for top 4.
Yep. We wrestled really well this year. with how it kind of works with wrestling and not really having an end-of-the-year playoff tournament to make it to state, it really makes every duel kind of count a little bit more for us. And it was tough because, we had to face 3 of the top 4 teams that made it to the state tournament from the EDC in the first month of the season. And at that point, nobody's lineup is really down to where it needs to be. And then a couple injuries here and there kind of hindered our team quite a bit because we had a really good starting lineup, we thought, but as far as having kids to fill in for spots, we kind of were digging for first-year kids and kids that didn't really have varsity experience. But, overall, we still wrestled tough. We didn't really get blown out by any teams. We wrestled everybody really tough that was finished in front of us as well. So I was very happy with how we finished the end of the year.
All right, so that's pretty good. Just going on to state then, just kind of quickly talk about how state tournament went for you out in Bismarck.
It went really well. We qualified 11 this year, which is the most I've ever qualified as a coach. And all those kids, I think we had 2 kids that were 8 seeds, and then the rest of them were either a 6 or better. So, we had some pretty high seeds going into that state tournament. And we came out of there with 3 state placers. Going into it, I really thought maybe we could get to 5. And, some of our kids kind of just ran into some tough opponents right away. Not really having to not getting a lot of wrestling against the West schools. You don't get to see how they wrestle or what they do a lot leading up to the state tournament. Which is also a benefit because they don't get to see what we do a lot.
Yeah.
But within that first round of the state tournament, we really figured out that, when we wrestled a Dickinson kid, they were hammering our head and they were trying to throw us around like we were nothing to them. And, that kind of gets to some of them. And, a lot of these kids, this is really their first state tournament. Even the kids that qualified last year, that wasn't like a genuine state tournament that we ran in last year. So this was more of a genuine state tournament for them to get a feel of it. And you can definitely see some of our younger kids were getting caught looking up into the stands and kind of getting starry-eyed, and it's like, oh, wow, I'm here. And it kind of showed for some of them on the map, but, we had 3 kids that were 1 round away from placing. Our 7th grader, Riley Kappas, 9th grader, Miles Hinckley, and then a junior, Logan Schwartz. They were all within that blood round, 1 match away from making it to the placing rounds. And then our 3 placers were 3 of our 4 seniors. Aiden Ruddy at 152, he ended up finishing 5th. Wrestled a great tournament, ended up kind of getting banged up the second day of the tournament, so he was wrestling with an injury on that second day. He had to kind of muscle through it. Hunter Owens had an amazing EDC and an amazing state tournament. A kid that wasn't ranked at all this year at any point. A kid that we knew could be as good as he finished. We just had to have the right moment and get him down to the right weight, and we finally got him down there, and he showed how good he was at state. And then Jackson Burchell, who's kind of just been our hammer up top for us, was wrestling really well and wrestled a great tournament, finished 4th for us. Was wrestling great tournament, just ended up getting, going up to wrestle heavyweight. He's a 220-pounder, so he's getting up quite a bit of weight at heavyweight. And if you make one little mistake at heavyweight, you could get thrown to your back, and that's what happened to him. He made one little mistake and ended up on his back, and with that much weight on top of him, it's hard for a guy his size to try to fight off. And,
Sure.
So all together, we wrestled a great state tournament. We finished 15th as a team up there, which is the first time we finished in the top 15 in my 3 years of being there. So that was great to see.
Congratulations to you and the team.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, and then, looking forward, we have a lot of returning talent on our team. We're going to be pretty young next year, but we have so many kids that now have 1 to 2 years of state experience on our team, and some kids that were taking some real big strides in the last part of the season and just didn't quite get there for us.
Before we get into your seniors, Coach, I just made a note here, and I want to make sure we get credit to those guys too. And you probably see my notes here, all academic, all-state qualifying wrestlers from BW, and it's David Erlinson, Weston Jensen, Riley Kappas, Aiden Ruddy, and Henry Sledadol. That's quite an accomplishment for those players to get the academic recognition along with the all-state wrestling thing. I mean, it's just kind of a combination of everything there.
Yeah, and to get that, you have to have a 3.5 or higher in school. It has to be your GPA, overall GPA, not just for like a semester or anything. And that's something I've been trying to preach, because I think my first year we had 1 kid. My second year, so last year we had 3 or 4, I believe, and then this year we had 5. And
that's pretty good.
We had 4 kids that were within like that 0.1 to 0.2 to get there as well. So we had, I think, 10 total that had a 3.0 or higher on our team this year, which was great to see. Just because it shows that, you know, they're doing the part of being a student before an athlete.
That's awesome.
That's what I'm trying to incorporate to our team and kind of trying to get to our kids to get in front of. So then when I check grades, I don't really have to worry about it a whole lot.
It's kind of nice not to have to worry about those possible suspensions. Hey, and before again we go down to the seniors, I caught something you said earlier, blood round. What's a blood round?
So like a blood round would be like that round just before placing. So, you know, how I would picture it, like for basketball. It's
So is that a common term in wrestling?
Yeah, we call it a blood round.
Say bubble.
Yeah, it's
like you're on the bubble.
Oh, okay.
That bubble round or whatever.
Okay.
You win it, you place, and you lose, you're done.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
We call it a blood round probably just because it's more
It's
wrestling term.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to. Yeah, I get it.
It's probably, you know,
I'm learning, man.
every episode,
Almost
you're
every show.
learning. You're learning.
All right, Coach. Let's get to the seniors. I think you had 4 at least that I know of.
Yeah, I had 4 great seniors this year. They all had leadership, and they all had different leadership qualities that made them great for me. You know, Aiden and Hunter were probably my two leaders that did a great job at being vocal in the room and when we were at tournaments and stuff like that. And, you know, those are 2 of our kids that I think really kind of set the tempo of how to do something. They would get after their teammates that they'd realize that they weren't up to the potential that they should be. And then Jackson and Wyatt were more of my lead by example type kids for me. They weren't necessarily the most vocal leaders, but they always did what they were supposed to. And if the other kids saw what they were doing, they caught on pretty quickly for me. And they all finished really well this season. Like I said, Hunter Owens finished 5th at state this year. I believe his record was 29 and 14 this year, which is really good. Aiden Ruddy finished 5th at state this year. He finished with a 40-9 record. Wow. Jackson finished 4th at state and finished with a 40-10 record. And then Wyatt Differding, you know, he made state this year. I think he was a 5 seed coming out of the EDC. First match he wrestled was against a Dickinson kid, and that Dickinson kid ended up getting 3rd in the tournament. And then the next round he wrestled the kid that ended up getting 7th in the tournament. So, you know, he didn't have an easy draw at the state. It didn't end up being an easy draw for him at the state. But, you know, every one of those matches he wrestles, he's right there every time. And he actually had the first kid on his back just out of bounds, and they ended up going off. But, you know, he wrestles tough, and he was really one that was coming on the last couple of weeks really good. You know, he had some very close matches with a lot of kids that placed. I think the kid that ended up getting 5th, he took to the wire at EDC right down to the last couple seconds. And so, you know, he was he did really well at the end of the year for us.
Well, again, just like Coach Ralph there, Brian, you got to have hats off to the seniors that help lead the way and lay the foundation for the next years to come. And it sounds like you had 4 good ones there,
yes,
too. So.
Yes, I was blessed with the 4 I got this year.
Absolutely. Coach, you got anything else for Coach?
No, congrats on a great season.
Yeah,
first year co-op. I know there's a lot of young kids in the program, too. Every time we have a game, there's youth wrestling that's going on, so I'm trying to get to the locker room and stepping over all these kids. So I know the program's active, and it's gonna continue to grow. So congrats on the first year co-op, and be nice to see these kids that are on the Breck side, see how they kind of adapt now to being in the North Dakota side, play, you know, in the EDC, get some experience in the EDC tournament, state tournament, and kind of adapting to that. So.
Anything going on in the spring for you here? No coaching? Any assistant coaching?
No coaching at the moment, unless I get asked to do something in the next coming weeks.
Oh, don't say that too loud.
Be
no
careful
coaching
with
at
that.
the moment. Just kind of relaxing.
Okay.
It's been nice to be able to go home and see the sun in the morning and at night. So,
yeah, at night too, yeah.
That's been a nice thing. Just basically cleaning up the resting room now. Looking at some camps for my kids this summer, seeing how we can get them in the room and get them into the weight room this summer and getting them better for next year.
All right, Coach. I appreciate you coming in and being a part of our winter programs here, and we'll see you for sure next winter if unless we see you this spring as an assistant coach or something.
Yes.
But anyway,
thanks for having me.
Ryan, thank you very much. Ryan Brandt, head coach of the BW Storm wrestling team, and I think we got Jordan Christensen waiting in the wings there. Cowboys assistant basketball coach coming up next.
Since 1996, Giants have been a go-to snack for quality. Giants works directly with farmers to ensure you're receiving the best Giant seeds in every bag. From planting to harvest, they ensure the quality and attention sunflowers deserve to deliver the best taste possible. Giants cashews and pistachios continue our tradition of making the finest nut available. They're a fan favorite. Whether you're in the mood for dill pickle, sour cream and onion, or bacon ranch, we have the flavors to satisfy your cravings. Giant Snacks, where quality still matters. That's the Giants difference. Did you know there's a local bank customers actually say they love? It's true. People love Bell Bank because they don't slam you with those sneaky fees. Plus, Bell is recognized for the friendliest bank tellers and the best customer service in town. Visit Bell's convenient locations in Wahpeton and Breckenridge or check them out online at bell.bank. Bell Bank, proud to support high school athletics. OSPTI has been the therapy clinic of choice for over 15 years here in the southern Red River Valley. At OSPTI, they strive to have the most up-to-date treatment options available with their hands-on method to decrease your symptoms and ensure quality care. Their motto at OSPTI, we strive to meet your goals. Locally owned on 5th Street North in Breckenridge. OSPTI.
It feels like you're at a bigger university. Right now I won't have any debt, and I might even gain a little extra money through scholarships. There's so many job opportunities. My name is Emily, and I'm here for my future.
Around here, every town is a sports town. And why not? Sports were important to us growing up, and we want the same for our kids. To get involved, because that's how kids learn to lead. And why Farmers Union Insurance supports these programs. Farmers Union Insurance. They don't just protect our community, they invest in it.
That we serve nearly 1,500 square miles across North Dakota and Minnesota, or that we've been around for over 60 years? How about that we've got 3,000 miles of fiber optics powering one of the best networks in the region? The best part? We're a cooperative. That means we're continually reinvesting in our communities to make them better than ever. We are Red River Communications. We've been recognized as a leader for helping our communities be great places to live and work. To find out how we're helping connect our communities, visit redrivercom.com/connecting.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Giants Coaches Show, powered by Red River Communications. Welcome back to Three Borders Sports Network. We're also on Red River Communications cable channel.
Channel 125.
How about that?
Our
own channel.
Yeah, that's right.
And then we're also on the YouTube channel, and you can always go back and watch these broadcasts back on our YouTube channel as well. And any broadcast that we've ever done, what did you say? There's over probably pushing 600.
There's 600, we'll say for sure, easy to keep it good.
Yeah, so there's a lot of broadcasts out there if you want to go back and watch anything. Cowboys and cowgirls and Huskies, Lady Huskies, and football, all kinds of stuff out there too, as well as we're now joined here by assistant coach of the Cowboys basketball team, Jordan Christensen. Thank you, Jordan,
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you coming in and getting ready here for the big game on Thursday. But first, let's talk about a nice win for the Cowboys last Friday against Mahnomen-Waban. It was an exciting game. I was there with Raleigh. We covered it with Three Borders Sports, of course, and it was fun for a fan.
That was a lot of fun. It was. I'm so happy for our guys. Like, they've been through a rough year, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, we were going into the game 4 wins and playing I think they had 18 or 19 wins, Mahnomen-Waban. We didn't know what to expect.
Right.
We've competed against a lot of teams, but to come out in that way and kind of shock Mahnomen-Waban, they did not think that was coming. They came in and kind of walked in a little bit thinking they were going to roll us. And
I think, Cam was out that night too, wasn't he? Cam
was sick all week last week.
Yeah, and somebody else was there somebody else that was on the bid? No, Dylan was back, wasn't
Dylan, that was his first game back, so Dylan had missed a few, and that was big to have him off the bench on Friday night.
Yep, and it was good to see that too. Again, just talk about that game a little bit. I know, and I'm not going to say everything that we talked about before the game when you were up setting up the camera upstairs there, we chatted a little bit, and you thought it was going to be a tough game there with Mahnomen, and it was a tough game, but yet a victory, a very big victory for the Cowboys, and which in the long run, we'll talk about that later too. In the long run, maybe helped your seeding a little bit.
Oh, it definitely helped their seeding. We can wait.
So let's talk about the game. Yeah,
going in, I mean, Mahnomen looked good on film, and they pressed, and we've struggled with the press early in the year, but we played our best basketball game of the year, or close to it, against them, and it was fun to see. Like, Jack Johnson's playing at a high level.
Oh my gosh,
handling the ball, I don't know how he finishes some of those in the lane. He gets in there and can just spin it off the glass and get it to go, and he's shooting it at a high clip. And we had a lot of guys step up and make plays. Dylan came in and hit a couple threes. I think we went 4 of 6 from 3 in the second half. So it's not like we took a lot of shots, but we took good ones. And we've really been stressing to the kids, like, we have to get good shots for us, not what the defense is just giving us. If they're giving you something wide open, it's probably because they want you to take it. And they've done a much better job as the year's gone on with that. And we played pretty solid defensively against Mahnomen, other than there was a little stretch where number 1 got going, but we contained him pretty well. And he's a very good scorer.
Yep.
And they had a few guys that they played off the bench that could put it in a hoop a little bit, but they didn't hurt us at all. We got the shooters like we haven't in the past all year, and it's good to see.
Yep. You mentioned Jack, and I wrote myself a note because I wanted to bring him back up again. Jack's performances in the last 4 or 5 games. Now, Perham was maybe an exception for everybody there.
No, that was.
But Jack's performances in the last 4 or 5 games before that, my goodness, he was 18, 20, 24 points, 27 points. I mean, just lights out, and the kid has a motor. I mean, my gosh.
He doesn't leave the floor for us.
No.
You wouldn't think he could keep that up the whole game.
It's
and
crazy.
He does.
I know we talk about Lydia Model with the Lady Huskies and how she goes all the time, just like the Energizer Bunny, but there's a free plug. But anyway, Jack just constantly goes, and I think Raleigh and I talked about on the air there a little bit too about how Jack's motor never ends, and the kid just goes, and he's not afraid to stick his nose in somewhere against the big trees either.
He's a tough kid. He's what a senior needs to do. He's stepped up huge.
Yep.
It's like, I listened to you guys talk with Coach Ralph, and you talked about your JV team for them being the varsity. Now it's the same thing with us.
Same thing with you guys.
Jack played JV point guard for a couple of years, and now against varsity, he's really stepped up. And I think, other than the Perm game, he's probably around 25 points per game our last 5, if you take that one out. He's been scoring at a high clip, and just got to keep him going. And I mean, him and I had a conversation one day. He's like, "Coach, what do I got to do?" I'm like, "Jack, shoot the ball. Please shoot the ball. Any shot you're taking is helping us."
Yeah. So that's true. All right, and then just looking at a few other guys, you got Dallin Ernst out there. I think seeing him improve through the year too, as well as a big guy, finally getting used to his feet and getting used to the players, and just a junior, isn't he?
He's just a junior.
So he's got some more time to come yet too.
He's got some time, work on his game, and just having him in the paint he's 6'5", all of 240, might be even bigger than that, and he's a load for everybody down there. And if you watched us play Barnesville, he did a really good job on the Zen kid that's going to go play football at NDSU. But there's not a lot of guys like him that you'll see in the paint. And
Sanchez been having a good season and coming on again at the end. So I'm just impressed by how the Cowboys have improved. Like you and I and you and Coach Lip, or I and Coach Lip have talked. This is a junior varsity team that didn't get a lot of playing time last year, and now they're a varsity team, and now they're gelling, now they're coming together. So it's fun to watch. And speaking of that, with that victory over Mahnomen, helped your seeding there, and we were looking maybe at a 6-ish?
We were probably going to be the 7 if we didn't win that game, and we'd have played last night.
Right, and you would have played last night. But with the victory, now you move up.
Moved up, got a home game. And I'm just excited for the kids. Our fans, like, the showing we had on Friday night for a game, like,
that was awesome.
That was awesome to see. Like, the whole girls team was there, lining the student section, and there was half of Science School's basketball team was behind the bench, and there was people there. I was like, holy cow. Turn and look at Coach Yagi. I'm like, this is packed. Like,
yeah, it was
we hadn't
cool.
seen that all year, and I'm sure they'll do it again on Thursday, and it'll be fun.
And I'm sure with you mentioned the Science School guys there. I'm sure they were there attending with Noah.
Yep.
And he's having a great season with the Cats. But it was a great atmosphere, great basketball atmosphere. And I was talking with Raleigh today, and he said that he expects a packed gym Thursday night too as well.
It'll be full.
He said the girls are, and we'll talk with Coach Emdeck here next, but sadly the girls are out, so they'll probably be there in force, and I'm sure the parents are going to be showing up, and we'll have it here on Three Borders Sports Network too. But okay, so let's talk about Battle Lake. Is it a different team than you faced the first time? It was a double overtime victory. Again, Gavin Peterson with three.
That was, I'll never
no
forget
time left
that.
on the clock.
That was
three
fun.
free throws, three huge free throws to send it to. That wasn't at the end of the first overtime, right?
Yep.
And send it to second overtime. But anyway, is it a different Battle Lake team?
It is. I would say their best player didn't play, but also we're not the same team we had in that game.
Sure.
Cam and Alex were both out, and they're a big piece of what we're doing. And I mean, I think we have a good scouting report on them. We've seen quite a few films on them, and we'll have the guys ready for Thursday and have a good idea what do we have to do, but we got to attack their 1-3-1 better. They played a 1-3-1 the first time around that we struggled with, and we got shots. We didn't get great shots, so we're trying to emphasize that again. We got to.
It was early in the season, wasn't that December?
That was December, right before Christmas. I
Okay.
think it was probably middle of December a little bit.
Did you cover that game, Brian, with Raleigh? Were you there at that one? At the double overtime?
I was at that game, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a crazy game.
That was the double overtime victory. Yeah, that was crazy.
There were a couple times I'm like, okay, this game's over, and then all of a sudden somebody hits a big shot. You had the free throws in the overtime. Yeah, I mean, it was a crazy game. So, but you got two different teams. There are a couple Breck players that didn't play in that game too. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
It will be.
A little more on the line this time than the first time. So.
All right, and I know we're not supposed to look ahead, Coach, but you win, you go to Perham on Saturday, correct?
We take care of business on Thursday. We'll play at 1 on Saturday. Got to take care of business first.
There you go. Let's take care of business first. And then,
These announcers, they don't understand.
They're trying to walk us into something, saying something dumb.
Yeah.
I'm trying to build ratings here.
They don't understand how it works. Like it's one game at a time, one possession at a time.
Well, wait till I get you on the horn here.
You want me to keep going with the cliches? Because I got them all.
Oh, funny. All right, Jordan. You got anything else for Jordan?
No, I'm good.
All right, Jordan. You got anything else you want?
No,
to
just
say?
good luck to Coach Watson.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
That was
I really
cool
do.
to see.
Thank you very much.
It was very cool for the girls and Coach Watson. Jordan, you got anything else you want to share?
No, we just got a really good group of seniors. A couple, like Colin Roberts, doesn't get his name called a lot other than taking charges. Like he's had a huge year for us.
He's on the floor a lot.
He's on the floor all the time and always taking charges. And then James Murdis too, and Gavin Snyder. Those kids, they just come to practice and work hard. Like James, I'm gonna plug him for a second because he doesn't play. Like he doesn't get in unless we're up by quite a bit or in foul trouble. But he still is one of those guys that every day in practice is getting after it and doing exactly what we ask, and just a really good teammate. And that's going to get him somewhere in life beyond basketball.
You could see that with James when he played football too as well. I mean, the kid had a nose for the ball. He had just a heart of gold and just a tiger out there on the floor, on the turf. And again, good mention there, sir. So,
really good group of kids.
Good group of kids, absolutely. I hope we're not missing somebody here. And off the top of my head, I'm trying to think of the guys. But, okay, so Thursday night, what time?
7 o'clock. It's
7
not the
o'clock,
normal 7:30 start time. 7 o'clock for a playoff game.
Because there is no JV. It's
no
just
JV.
So it's a 7 o'clock tip, and we will be there with Three Borders Sports Network, and we'll have the game for you here if you can't make it. But tell your friends and neighbors and any relatives down in Arizona or wherever they're at. Tune in to Three Borders Sports Network and see Coach Christensen and Coach Lip take on the Battle Lake Battlers.
The Cowboys are taking on the Battlers.
What did I say?
Said the coaches.
Yeah, it's the players. Come on.
Well,
Hey, thanks for everything you do, though.
No, you're
for
welcome.
all of our
I'm
guys.
sorry, yes, the Cowboys. Yep. Yeah, you're welcome. We appreciate the comment. So,
We have fun.
we do. All right, Coach, thanks again. Jordan Christensen, assistant coach here for the Cowboys. They'll take on the Battle Lake Battlers on Thursday at 7 p.m. at Cowboy Gymnasium. We'll have him here on Three Borders Sports Network as well. Austin Emdeck is outside waiting in the hallway. We'll be right back with Austin right after these messages.
Did you know that we serve nearly 1,500 square miles across North Dakota and Minnesota? Or that we've been around for over 60 years? How about that we've got 3,000 miles of fiber optics powering one of the best networks in the region? The best part? We're a cooperative. That means we're continually reinvesting in our communities to make them better than ever. We are Red River Communications. We've been recognized as a leader for helping our communities be great places to live and work. To find out how we're helping connect our communities, visit redrivercom.com/connect.
Superior Builders in Breckenridge specializes in post-frame buildings with 25 years worth of knowledge and experience in the post-frame industry. Licensed and insured, Superior Builders offers pre-engineered commercial buildings, farm shops, hobby buildings, and storage buildings. Superior Builders also offers a 40-year paint warranty and lifetime column warranty. Superior Builders in Breckenridge, building your dream to last. 701-238-7740. That's 701-238-7740.
The Wapaton Daily News wishes all area sports teams the best of luck this year. The Wapaton Daily News thanks you for supporting local journalism, including the Daily News and the News Monitor. Keep up with local news, sports stories, and personal interest stories in our papers. Check out www.wapatondailynews.com for more information about our e-newsletter right at your own computer. The Daily News supports all area sports teams and wishes all of the teams the best of luck this season. Have you ever considered chiropractic for your family? Dr. Andrea and the staff at Hornstein Family Chiropractic love to see families. With 16 years of experience seeing brand new babies, pregnant women, toddlers, teens, athletes, she cares for your family like it's her family. Join Hornstein Family Chiropractic at 715 Dakota Avenue in Wapaton, and we will help your family grow up healthy. Call 701-672-1300 for the next soonest available appointment, because at Hornstein Family Chiropractic is a family affair.
Washing your car just got a whole lot cheaper. With All Seasons Car Wash Unlimited plans, you can wash your car whenever you want for as little as $29.99 per month. You can even wash your pet at All Seasons Car Wash. So this winter, keep your vehicle and your pet clean with help from All Seasons Car Wash. Conveniently located at 1300 4th Avenue South, next to Tractor Supply Company in Wapaton. To enroll in an unlimited car wash plan, please visit allseasonscw.com. Since 1996, Giants have been a go-to snack for quality. Giants works directly with farmers to ensure you're receiving the best Giant seeds in every bag. From planting to harvest, they ensure the quality and attention sunflowers deserve to deliver the best taste possible. Giants cashews and pistachios continue our tradition of making the finest nut available. They're a fan favorite. Whether you're in the mood for dill pickle, sour cream and onion, or bacon ranch, we have the flavors to satisfy your cravings. Giant Snacks, where quality still matters. That's the Giants difference.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Giants Coaches Show, powered by Red River Communications. We're on channel 125 if you have Red River Communications cable in your place. I got it. You got it?
Oh, stop it. You know.
I have it in
my side of town yet. You live out in the boonies. So.
But anyway, welcome everybody, and Joe Schreiner, Brian Watson. We're now joined by head coach of the Cowgirls basketball squad. That is Austin Emdeck. Austin, thanks again for joining us.
Absolutely. Good evening, guys.
I hate to say it, but it's your last visit here for the winter season.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Man, what a tough loss there. But let's first talk about the first round game that you played. Well, it's technically the second round in the Section 6A tournament. You played the Battle Lake. You got the bye in the first round, and you got the 4 seed, and took on Battle Lake at home, and it was a nice win there for the Cowgirls.
Yeah, man, Battle Lake made us earn it. That was for sure.
Yep.
You know, we not very often that late in the season you get 3 days of practice, but we didn't play till that Thursday, so we had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday to prep, and you know, we watched film. We put a lot of time in on Battle Lake and what they do well, and keen on their players. And you know, Van Erp's a pretty good player. They had a pretty solid post. They have one really good shooter. Outside of that, we know they didn't have much depth, so we wanted to take advantage of that. And early on, we had what we thought a really good scout put together, and you got, again, 3 days to practice. It was almost like to the point where maybe we were over-prepped a little bit to a degree. We came out a little bit thinking about the game maybe too much instead of just playing, and they just couldn't miss. They shot 70% in the first half. Just every three they threw up was going in. And, we had some defensive breakdowns in that first half, but for the most part, they were just hitting shots in our face. There's nothing we could do about it. And go into halftime with a 10-point deficit, and we're like, whoa, that's not what we were expecting this game to be, but knew it was a 4-versus-5 game and knew that you'd have to earn it regardless of how the game shakes out. But in the second half, man, did things change quick in a hurry. Carson Materi got in foul trouble quick, and we trusted her. I'm usually if you got 2 fouls in the first half, you're done. Let's go see the next half and play hard in the second half and not feel that you're walking on eggshells or whatever. But we just needed some offense in the end of that first half, so we all right, Carson, go ahead. And she just kind of ran into a help side, weak side situation. For all of a sudden, she ran herself into a foul, and it was like, oh boy, now we got 3. So we start Jonica Bernadas in the second half, and man, thank goodness we did, because she comes out, hits 3 threes in the first 2 minutes with a fast break layup from Anna Erickson in the meantime. So in less than 2 minutes, we wiped away that 10-point deficit, and we were up a point, and we kept her rolling from there. Took good shots, played really good defense, communicated well in our zone. That 3-2 zone was really good for us in the second half of the season. And a lot of times with that zone is when it broke down or we gave up shots, it was when we weren't communicating. We were forgetting to talk, and so the girls were playing that zone really, really well at the end of the year. And we locked down their best player. Now their shooter went nuts. She had 17 in the first half. She finished with 25, but did a better job in the second half getting out to her and rebounded the ball well. And Parker Yagi was a big spark plug in that Battle Lake game. She had 19 points, 12 of them in the first half, and we just couldn't get anything going offensively. She really sparked us. Jonica had 12 points. So 2 8th graders, coming up with 31 of your points, that was big. That was almost half of our points. And Carson Materi, for a senior last night in her home court, got in foul trouble. Didn't score a bucket, but man, did her teammates pick her up. Cameron picked her up. Anna played great defense, got some good buckets from Jonica and Parker. Addie filled hers in, got us some buckets, was a good rim protector. Kelsey was able to get into the paint and facilitate from there and got a bucket or two and opened up some other shots for other players. So everyone played a really good role there in that game, and picked up our senior leader who was in foul trouble, and we got to see another night.
We got, we had, you mentioned a couple of things there I want to go back and visit real quick. You talked about how the second half comeback there, I think it was like a 19-2 or a 19-3 run or something that you guys had there. It was probably one of the largest comebacks at that time of the game in a halftime coming back that I'd ever probably witnessed, and it was fun to watch. Unfortunately, we had a little technical difficulty. We couldn't quite get things going the way we wanted, but it was really, really fun to watch for what we did. But the other thing you mentioned, Coach, that I want to bring up, and we talked about it in the post-game show that night on Three Borders Sports Network, you talked about Carsey and her leadership. Yeah, Carsey had a tough night scoring points that night for the Cowgirls. But talk about what she did on the bench for you here for folks that didn't see the postgame.
Well, she's locked in at all times, and it's just a true, overall view at what she is for us and what she means to this program. And she didn't sit and whine on the bench. There was some tears shed, but there was frustration, like, God, I can't believe this is how, put a little pressure probably on herself knowing that it was her last game.
Yep.
And she sat down, got a drink, was talking about what we need to do on defense. She's the loudest one on the bench cheering after shots. She's communicating on the bench with her teammates. She's just completely locked in. And that's really just a testament to the type of player she was, the time that she put in. Wasn't going to give up. It would have been pretty easy for her at that point to say, wow, I can't believe my last game on my home court went like this, but she stuck. She stayed in it for her teammates, for her friends, for the whole team. And that was honestly probably, Parker's 19 and what she did, and Jonica coming out of half and hitting those 3 threes and what she did was great. But my favorite moment of the night was just seeing Carsey lead, and show that senior leadership and that veteran experience. And I think hopefully for any younger players out there watching or parents, it's like that's what we're shooting for in a program. You can't. Sometimes that's something that can't always be be taught either, you know.
Correct.
So, you know, on
All
that
right.
note, she's going to be one that, you know, we really miss. We'll talk about the seniors at the end, I'm sure.
Yeah,
but
we'll talk about
man,
seniors.
she will be missed.
She will be missed. And, okay, so we win, all right? We move on. We know we're going to Perham, and we're going to face the number 1 seed, Underwood Rockets. What are you thinking going into this one? It was a 2-point loss at the beginning of the season, and I talked about it in my pregame show. Maybe you didn't want me, you know, to say that, but I said, hey, we were missing Cameron the first time through. We're expecting a little better game here, blah, blah, blah. And it was a good game, up to 39-39.
Yeah. We had them right where we wanted them. You know, 39-39. We wanted to limit possessions. They're a really, you won't really know it other than a couple turnovers late, but they're a really, really good transition team. And we limited transition points almost to none until, you know, I think there was maybe 8 of them or 6 of them all game. So we did a really good job limiting their transition. We executed how we wanted to execute, wanted to slow things down, limit possessions. As far as a normal fan goes, I guess probably make the game boring, right? We wanted it to be boring. That was going to be the best game plan for us. And it worked. It was really good. We had them 39-39, tie ball game with 5-ish so minutes. And then we just, you know, missed a couple shots, missed a few free throws, turned the ball over, and happened quick, you know. Luck in their best player, number 0. She hit a 3. She's really not much of a shooter. She's get to the lane, finish at the rim, does a really good job doing that. But she knocked down a 3, and it was a little bit of a blow. You know, as a coach, you're always looking back, hindsight 2020. Probably should have used a timeout to try to kill some of that momentum they were getting after the 3 and another bucket. But, you know, hindsight's always 2020. Yep, and you know, it just was unfortunate because the girls played so hard. They didn't give up. There is a game of runs. I always say basketball is a game of runs, and a few others, you know, got that from a few others. But, you know, it really is. And they had their runs, and we could get a stop, and we'd go on our runs. And it was back and forth, and then they just went on the final run. Yeah. And that's just how the game goes sometimes. And Cam had a monster game in her final, you know,
she had
game, 15 and 13.
Was it? I was going to say double. I wasn't keeping track of the rebounds, but she had to have double-digit rebounds.
Yeah, and just a workhorse, just does a little bit of everything for us. Jordan Christensen was talking about, you know, Jack never coming out of the game. Cam, for the most part, literally never comes out of the game. We'll get her maybe one blow a night. Same with Anna Erickson, too. So just the hard work that they put into the program and having it come to an end like it did was just really unfortunate. And, you know, the season as a whole kind of could be wrapped up into that same kind of feeling where I thought, you know, going down to 1A, I thought for sure this would be a season that would be one of our most successful, and it actually happened to be, you know, winning percentage-wise, you know, my worst since I've gotten here in the last 4 years. But we battled. You know, we are a true 1A team, and we played a lot of good teams in Perham and Hawley and in our conference schedule, and Wahpeton as well. And that experience came, and we were playing good at the end of the season. That's the only thing you can ask for as a coach, that you're playing well. You're playing your best basketball at the end of the season, and we were. And just came up a few buckets short and a few stops short, and that's the way the ball bounces sometimes.
Yeah, I'm sure it was a tough loss. I know you and the girls were down in the locker room for a while there, and I was doing my post-game show, and then I finally seen you all come out, and of course, girls visiting with family and friends, and you know, a lot of hugs, a lot of tears, and you know, a tough one for the seniors. So I'm just going to turn it over to you, Coach, and you know, you mentioned a couple of your seniors already, but let's just continue on with them and talk about your seniors a little bit here.
Yeah, you know, and coming out of the locker room, that was a scene that I told the coaches before I went in, and we talked to the girls. I said, there's no doubt that this is the worst part of the season every single season. You know, it's just like, what do you say? What do you do? You know, we worked our butt off and played so hard and just fell up short. And, you know, it is what it is. And you know, the seniors to this program, to me, were extra special this year because they were the first group that I saw through as freshmen.
Oh, sure.
You know, so and they helped. You know, and I could throw out a lot of names. You know, between Ashton Kaler, who's on staff now, and Riley Lorenz and Emma Eland and Jude Held and Grace Konzemius, and then you got to go Carsey and Cam and Anna, because they were a part of this thing. And I actually talked to the girls in the locker room about this. Was you haven't heard me say buy-in a long time. But when I first got here, it was buy-in. This is different. This is not what you're used to. This is different verbiage, different offense, different defense, different lingo, everything's different. I just ask you guys that you buy into this young guy who came in here to be your head coach, and they did. Man, did they ever. We've had a lot of, haven't got to a state tournament like Coach Watson over there yet or anything that we've gone on a super big run yet, but we've had, really successful seasons, in college girls basketball since we've been here, and these 3 seniors have played a pivotal role every single year of that, little different stories. Cam and Carcy had varsity jerseys right away as freshmen. I walked in the gym that first summer and said, what grade are you in? Freshman. Sweet. What grade are you in? Freshman. Perfect. What grade are you in? Freshman. All right. And then we had a really good supporting cast right away, so we had something to work with right away, and Cam and Anna, especially in the weight room and how they set the tone about not just becoming a better basketball player but a better athlete and being dedicated to the craft. And Carcy, just from a full-on basketball standpoint, the IQ is phenomenal. I've said it before, but we'll be watching film and she'll be telling us what's about to happen before we watch it, because she's just got that photographic type memory, and hey, we got to play it this way, or here's what I would have done different, in this situation when I turned the ball over here, but this is what I would do now, or whatever it was. She was just really good at that, and all the hours and the buckets put up in the gym in the summer and in the off season, and it set the tone for this program, and hopefully in the years in the future it'll be something that they're really proud to be a part of, because I know it's been, I'm really proud, and it's been an honor for me to be able to coach them. So, it's tough, but it's you got to think about the good times and the journey that you've been on and the hard work you've put into something, and like the girls even said, I think Carcy had a really nice post on social media about the life lessons that they come away from this, because at the end of the day it's a lot more than just basketball. It's life too, and learning those lessons to become an adult, and that's why we as coaches do it. So it's been fun.
Nobody can take away that memory.
Right. Absolutely.
Nobody can take that. That's yours forever.
Wins and losses are cool, and you dawn on those in the moment, but it's a lot of the other things that you remember as a player. It's the bus rides, it's the practices, it's the locker room chalk talks, it's the team meals, right? It's everything. So, you close one chapter and open the next. So.
Yep, there you go. I'm sitting between two good ones here, and you got anything there you want to add to Austin?
No, I mean, he's had a great season. I mean, sometimes you look at wins and losses, and it's not really about wins and losses. And, they've had a successful season. He's had a good crew. And, I know where he's coming from as far as letting that one group that you've had the longest, see them go for that when they're seniors. I had 3 juniors when I first started, but I had 12 sophomores, and then by the time they were seniors, we had 10 left, and it was just a whole group, a whole family, and it's just hard to just have it come to an end, because when it ends abruptly, when you're expecting to go a little bit farther, you're even in a little bit more shock, So it's just difficult. But I think, like you said, it's about more than basketball. You learn a lot throughout the season. I think he does a great job with his girls. I think he's a great teacher of the game, and I think anybody who's been in that program is gonna move on and be successful in life, whether it's basketball or whatever. Just at the way that he's handled that team. So just hats off to you and your team, and I know there's going to be continued success, and happy for your girls, what they're going to move on to, and just not really looking forward to playing against them in the future, but I just congrats on a good season.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate that.
Yep.
It's been quite a ride, and those girls have had quite a year. You've got Anna, you've got Cameron, and you've got Carcy. Just a great season and great careers for all 3 of them.
Yeah, 3 really good kids, and they'll be missed, but they've left their imprint as well, and hopefully that has carried on through the younger kids.
I'm sure we'll see them around.
I'm sure
we'll see them around cowgirl basketball for years to come. And tomorrow or Thursday night, Coach, I'm going to keep you busy.
Yeah,
you're not going to get out of basketball yet. You're going to come and help me on Thursday night, and we'll do the broadcast for the Cowboys.
Yeah, you never want to stop the best sport in the world.
There you go.
Stick with it any way you can.
We're not paying him, right?
No, but he's coming after your job.
I know he's trying to get my job. I mean,
well, you're busy somewhere else.
I got stuff to do.
So yeah, Austin Emdeck's going to join me up in the booth on Thursday night for the Cowboys basketball game, and I'm looking forward to that again. So.
Yeah, always fun to join you on the call, no doubt about that.
We're looking forward to it. All right, for Austin Emdeck, thanks again, Coach, for coming in and sharing your Cowgirl experiences with us. And again, congratulations to the Cowgirls on a great season. Don't hang your heads, girls. You got a lot to be proud of. So,
sure.
All right, we'll be right back, and I'm going to get a chance to talk to Coach Watson here in just a minute. We'll talk about that gritty. Did you see that gritty that he did?
I did.
Going to be a long commercial break right now.
I don't know.
Long commercial break.
I don't know. What's he going to do to top that? That's what I want to know.
It's going to be tough.
Okay. All right, we'll be right back. Austin, thanks again for joining us. We'll see you Thursday night. We'll be right back with Brian.
Did you know that we serve nearly 1,500 square miles across North Dakota and Minnesota? Or that we've been around for over 60 years? How about that we've got 3,000 miles of fiber optics powering one of the best networks in the region? The best part? We're a cooperative. That means we're continually reinvesting in our communities to make them better than ever. We are Red River Communications. We've been recognized as a leader for helping our communities be great places to live and work. To find out how we're helping connect our communities, visit redrivercom.com/connect.
Brooder's Butcher, Highway 75 North Breckenridge, believes in community, customer service, and the goodness of meat. Brooder's Butcher provides quality raised and butchered beef at an affordable price. From raising cattle born on family farms to butchering and preparing the meat for your dinner table, they are that dedicated. Stop into their store located Highway 75 North Breckenridge or check them out online, broodersbutcher.com.
It feels like you're at a bigger university. Right now I won't have any debt, and I might even gain a little extra money through scholarships. There's so many job opportunities. My name is Emily, and I'm here for my future.
Insurance is an important safety net for your family, your home, and your business. Carlson Family Insurance Agency is your local auto owner's insurance provider. At Carlson Family Insurance, they work for their clients, not the companies. Customer service and satisfaction is their #1 goal. Give Carlson Family Insurance a call for all of your personal, farm, business, and crop insurance needs. 701-672-6002 or at cfiagency.com. Carlson Family Insurance, your auto owner's insurance agent.
At Interstate Engineering, our business is about connections. We connect people to water, communities to counties, and counties to the rest of the world. Our work connects main streets to interstates, and yesterday with the potential of tomorrow. With over 40 years of connecting, our experience and expertise are thanks to the clients we have earned, the trust we have built, and the connections we have made. Interstate Engineering, the professionals you need, the people you trust.
It's not too soon to get ready for graduation, and Bold Print in Wahpeton is your graduation headquarters. Everything from signs, banners, invitations, and more. If you're looking for that special personalized gift, Bold Print offers custom canvas prints and framing, and new to Bold Print is their custom decal machine, which is great to promote your business. Give them a call today, 642-2188, or check them out online. Use boldprint.com.
Since 1996, Giants have been a go-to snack for quality. Giants works directly with farmers to ensure you're receiving the best Giant seeds in every bag. From planting to harvest, they ensure the quality and attention sunflowers deserve to deliver the best taste possible. Giants cashews and pistachios continue our tradition of making the finest nut available. They're a fan favorite. Whether you're in the mood for dill pickle, sour cream and onion, or bacon ranch, we have the flavors to satisfy your cravings. Giant Snacks, where quality still matters. That's the Giants difference.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Giants Coaches Show. We are powered by Red River Communications. I'm Joe Schreiner. That's Brian Watson, Three Borders Sports Network. It's our turn now to talk to the head coach of the Lady Huskies, Brian Watson. But first, Brian, before we get into some stuff, I want to just quick mention, too, our Section 6A tournament sponsors and our EDC sponsor that we had for the play-in game that we did. Red River Communications stepped forward along with Minn Kota Ag Products to help us out with the fees. We have to pay a fee.
Yeah,
everybody
wants their money, Joe.
Yep, so we had to go out and ask, and Red River Communications and Minn Kota Ag Products both stepped up and helped us out in that situation, and we were able to bring you not only the EDC game that Brian had, the play-in game, but also the Section 6A tournament games that we're doing for the girls, and now we'll do the boys on Thursday. And we'll try to follow them as long as we can, and as long as we get permission, we'll be doing some 6A games as well for the boys. So thanks again to Red River Communications and Minn Kota Ag Products. All right, Coach, head coach of the Lady Huskies, Brian Watson. You finished the season 8-12 in the EDC, and you knew you were going to play a play-in game. Early in the season, it looked like you weren't going to get much. You had hopes to get up to that 5 spot, but didn't quite get there. Anyway, we took on Valley City in the play-in game, and it was a nice victory there for the Lady Huskies.
Yeah, there's only 5 teams that don't play in a play-in game. So, the other 6 do. So, we use the season to try and build for the playoffs, okay? And if you could finish, we want to finish in the top 4 so that we don't have a playing game, top 5 so that we don't have a playing game. But you want to be in that top 4 so that you can have your shorter game at home than a playoff game that's at home because you're playing at higher seed. And then if your season's going where you feel like you're not going to make it into that top 5, then you've got to try and position yourself and get enough wins so that you can have a home playing game. And, for us, we improved on our position from last year because we had to go on the road, go to Valley City.
Just the opposite this year.
So just the opposite this year. We're able to host that game. And it's just a different cat when you're at home. I mean, it just is. And, there's a lot of momentum. Our fans are great. They get the gym going, and, the boys were on the road for their game, but they were able to get back. Our game wasn't done yet, so they got to see some of that second half, and it just adds energy in the gym. And we needed every bit of it. We were okay early in the game, and then they come back and they take the lead. I think we're down 4. And then, we just needed a punch, and we're able to get the lead back, and then, with about a minute and a half, I guess it was to go, we're able to somehow just go on just an amazing run with defense to get a couple quick baskets, and we're able to stretch that thing to 10, and there was no looking back after that. So just happy to be able to get through that game so that we can get ourselves into the EDC tournament. Scott Woods had a great game there with 30 points. We had 4 girls in double figures. John had 10, Lydia had 11, and Emma had 10 off the bench. So, and then we had 2 other scores with 7. So, I mean, just scoring all around from everybody that played in the game, and it's just what we needed in order to get out of that play-in round.
And I think you handled, I forget the girl's name now, they're all conference player, Egremont?
Brooke Egremont, yep. She had 19, but they had 2 in double figures. Tessa Olsen had a good game too. She's a nice sophomore. So,
but I think the Lady Huskies played well against Egremont. All right, let's move on, and let's take a look quick at the next opening round game that you had. You had to go up against the number 3 or 4 team in the state, and the number 2 seed, I believe, was West Fargo Cheyenne, and kind of it was at Cheyenne too as well, and it was a 19-point loss.
Yeah, I mean that's the round that we're talking about where you get to host, and they were the 2 seed, so we had to go to the 2 seed, us being the 7 seed when we got into the EDC tournament, and it's a game that we went into with a little bit of confidence. We had played well against Cheyenne in the opener, lost that game by 2 points on a last-second buzzer beater. We were up 6 with a minute and a half to play, and just couldn't close it out. And then things didn't go real well at our place. I still felt like we played well. We got beat by 19 points, gave up over 90 in that game. And after the game, I felt like we just played horrible. I was like, we got beat so bad, and I just felt like we didn't play very well. And then we took a look at the stats. We actually played pretty well offensively. I mean, we were almost 1 point per possession. I think we were .94 5 or something like that points per possession. We didn't turn it over a bunch of times. We shot the ball pretty well. We just didn't get stops when we needed, and we didn't defend the three-point line very well in that game. I think we gave up 12 or 13 three-pointers to them, and that ended up being the difference in the game. We sent it to the free throw line a little bit too much, and we're one of the better shooting teams in the EDC. Well, guess what? They're above us free throw shooting in the EDC. So we just gave up a little too much, and we just weren't able to catch up. But after playing them twice, knowing what we knew, we felt like we could go to their place and play well. And we started out well, played with them toe for toe. And then with about 3 minutes to go in the first half, everything just kind of fell apart. We had just a stretch, talk about a game of runs. They had a little run there to finish out the half where we were down 2, and then we ended up going in the half down 9. And that was just a difference in the game. We weren't able to get back in it. We started doing some things that are not characteristics of our team, and then they're able to stretch out that lead and not look back. They play with a lot of confidence after that, and just tough for us to make up that gap.
All right, so then after that, you move on now in the loser-out game. You head over and you got to play a team that you already played twice during the year. You beat them twice during the year, and you got to go in, and now you've got to play at the Shack at NDSU.
Yeah, at that school up there in Florida.
Yeah. And you had to take on Devil's Lake and try to beat them a third time on the season. And you did.
Yeah, kind of I don't know if you want to call it a trap game or whatever, but, everyone says it's hard to beat a team 3 times, which it is. It's very difficult. But, for us, we had to be careful that we didn't go into that game saying, well, we beat these guys twice, whatever. But both of those games were close. We really had to scratch and crawl to get that game won, both of those games. And I think being, those games were close, it did keep our mindset right that we're going to need to go and play a full basketball game. They've got Rachel Dallin, one of the best players in the conference, play up for Senior Athlete of the Year, Senior Player of the Year in the East. And, she hurt us in both games, over 20 points in both of those games. And our main focus against Devils Lake in the EDC tournament was to just take Dallin away.
Make somebody else beat you.
Anytime she had the ball in the post, we wanted someone in front, someone behind. We wanted to double team her, and then we try and handle the perimeter the best that we could. And we did just enough to get that thing done. We held Dallin to I think 10 or 12 points, and then we had to fight off Fee, who had 26. Devils Lake didn't make a 3-pointer in the first half. And they're a team that hadn't shot a lot or hadn't made a lot of 3-pointers throughout the course of the year. So we weren't really worried about the 3-point line, although we know they have some shooters. But I think it's Tori Fee just went off in the second half and just throwing them in from everywhere. Late in that game, Lid was hanging all over, and she's still making them. But we were able to hold off those 3-pointers at the end and able to come away with the win in that game. And that's another one that, we trailed for a lot of that game. We were down double digits, and we just kind of stayed with it. I think being behind in that Valley game helped us out. So I just felt like if we could just kind of stay with it and hang around long enough and get the lead at the right time, we were able to do that. And we were ahead at 14 in that game, and they came back just like in Valley. And they took the lead on us, and then we were able to kind of hold them off again too as well. And I think that Valley game helped us because it was kind of the same scenario, and we were able to make free throws in that game, and that's been a strong point for us, and that helped get us over the hump against Devils Lake.
It was a fun game, and again a big game here. So now you go into the state qualifying game on Saturday. Did you want to talk about some of your leaders there in that one?
Well, Kumo had a great game against Devils Lake. She had 20 points, but not only did she have 20 points, she had like 6 steals in that game. So did a good job on defense. And again, we had 4 girls in double figures. Scout had 22, John had 10, and Lid had 10, and then Taya had 7. So again, we're getting all this scoring. We scored over 70 points again, and it's just what we've been able to do. And we're getting to the free throw line. We're making those free throws. Just a good all-around team performance. We needed everybody in that game, and we got exactly what we needed in order to get past Devils Lake.
Yep. All right, so now we move on to the game on Saturday, and the one that made you qualify for the state tournament this year for the first time since 2017. You took on West Fargo, and again, West Fargo, I think, in the first meeting. You played them pretty tight.
We did. We were in that game, minute and a half to go, down 1 with the ball, and we turn it over, and then Seymour goes down and hits a 3, and then we just weren't able to capitalize after that. So
And
just
then
a tough one.
when we played them at home here just toward the end of the season, it was a different story. I can't remember the final score, but I think it was
We lost by 12, I think,
Yeah.
and Coach Imdad talked about their score being 39-39, and they weren't able to score after that. In that second game, we got to a point where I think we went 10 possessions or something like that, 10 or 11 possessions, where we didn't score, and they were able to stretch out the lead, and we just weren't able to have our run again. But we were in the game, and we just felt like this is a team that we can compete with. I even said to the girls after the game, I said, if you want to make it to the state tournament, you're going to have to beat that team that you just lost to. And I just felt like, for whatever reason, we were going to run into them again. And, it just happened to be the right time for us, and it just happened to come true that our path to the state tournament would have to go through West Fargo. And our girls did a good job. They stepped up, and not the easiest game in the world. We had the same game plan as we did against Devils Lake. A little different player, a Division I player who led the conference in scoring, and Riley Simon.
Wow.
And she's as big as I am. And I don't mean that in a negative way, but she's built like a post player,
Sure.
and a Division I post player at that.
Yep.
And the first 2 meetings, hard for us to handle her. And all we wanted to do, again, try and put someone in front, someone in back, and we're not trying to stop her. We're trying to contain her if that's even possible. By the score, it's not really possible. But then the other thing we wanted to do is to not let Seymour beat us from behind the three-point line. We felt like that was the difference in both of the games earlier in the season. Seymour had 5 three-pointers against us at Devils Lake. At West Fargo, and then at our place, I think she had 4 or 5 as well.
She had a number there.
So we felt like if we could just do whatever we could against Simon, maybe she gets hers, that's fine. But we really needed to contain that three-point line. And Simon only had 3 points in that game. She had a three-pointer late in the game, and that was the difference for us. We held them in check behind the three-point line. We actually won the three-point battle against a team that's a really good three-point shooting team. So, we were down the majority of that game. We were down double digits, and we just were able to hang around. Like Coach Ralph said, he said right before the half, he felt like we were going to get it done. Well, we were still down at half. And but we didn't let them stretch out the lead going into halftime, which is what we did against Cheyenne. We let them go on that run. So, we go in the half. We talk about the things that we need to fix, that we need to clean up. We need to get out there on the three-point line. And I felt like we needed to get after it a little more. We needed to want it a little more than they did, because we're both trying to get the same thing. It doesn't matter who wants it more, who's going to get on the floor, who's going to get after a loose ball here. And I felt like in the second half we really started getting after it. Emma Boncha started to heat up on offense and defensively. She was getting after loose balls on the floor, things like that. And we had 5 girls in double figures. I mean, that's just huge.
That's crazy.
And to be able to get that, and to hold those guys off, to take the lead late in that game, and to hold them off and to make free throws, to get them into our kind of a game, it was just fun. I mean, it's fun to see it all come together. Everything that you've talked about, the things that you want the players to do, that you want them to believe in, and you want them to play our type of game, just to have it all come together at the right time, and to see the joy in the last 13 seconds when you really realize that this is going to happen. It's just unbelievable. And I just had to stand back and just watch. I mean, just to see their reaction on the floor at the closing seconds of that game. It's just great. It just paid off. All the hard work just paid off.
So great to see some of those pictures. I know Renee Langenwalter's put out some pictures that captured the moments that you're just talking about and you're referring to, and some of the things that Coach Ralph talked about there too, as when Lydia got the ball and she's jumping up and down with the ball and the clock is still ticking. And
I mean, you could just see the excitement. Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy. And, you talk about, hey, you can get yourselves to the state tournament. This is how we need to do it. We want to be playing on Saturday, the EDC tournament, all that stuff. And when you're in the process of it, you're not thinking about that. You're just trying to go and do it. And then when you're done, you get to exhale a little bit. You look back and you go, yeah, we did that. We stuck our nose to the grindstone. We didn't let our record, bring us down. We didn't let the big losses bring us down. We just we kept chipping away, put ourselves in a good spot, playing on Saturday, and now we get to go to the state tournament.
Yep, win 2 before you lose 2.
Yeah.
Coach, you talked about the 5 girls in double figures. Quick mention them, and then I got a couple things I want to finish up.
All right, Scott Woods had 17. Emma Bonch came off the bench and had 14. Ayana Allard had 13. And Kumo had 11, and Lid had 10, and then Latea had 7, and then Amaya had 2. So just scoring from everybody, and when you get 5 girls in double figures, it's hard for a team on the other side to stop you because they can't key on one player, and that's something that we have going for us right now.
Absolutely. All right, Coach. And one of the things I want to talk about, and you talked about it a number of times here during the show, is the scoring that these girls have done through the year. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm going to just read through this, so bear with me. 6th in the EDC in scoring offensively, 62 points per game average. 2nd in the EDC in free throw percentage, which you mentioned, at 68%. 7th in the EDC at 3-point shot making at 4+ per game. 5th in the EDC in steals per game, almost 11 a game. You look at some of those stats, and then you go over to the other side and look at the individual. You had 3 individual ladies in double figures in the top 20 in the EDC in scoring. You had Scout Woods at 13.7, you had McKenna at 12.9, and Emma at 11.2.
Yeah.
So offensively, I think that's the, you probably got to go way back, way before my time when I got really involved with the girls, but has it been that?
Well, I mean, we're not. I mean, if we stretch this thing out to the state tournament, we might eclipse the total point record. But we're scoring a lot of points. But I think that the difference in this team, as opposed to teams that have been able to score in the past, is that it's not just one player. When we were good in the past, and I think our scoring record is either in 2016 or 2017. That's when Tyler Irwin was in the lineup, and she scored a lot of points in her career. She scored over 2,000 points in her career. Right. So, but we got the scoring really from one person. We'd get 1 in double figures, or we'd get 2 close to double, in double figures when she was in school. But here, it can be any one of our 7 players that we play in our regular rotation. Right. It really can. And when you have a team like that, it just makes it difficult for who are you going to take away then, because Scout had 30 one night, and then McKenna has 20 the next night, and then Emma comes in off the bench and she can score 20. And Lid can go for 20. It's just we just have a bunch of girls who can score, awesome. And they can score in different ways. It's not like okay, we're going to take away this, and then you won't be able to do anything else. And we've even seen it here, late in the tournament where teams have tried to take away Scout and just totally face guard her and prevent her from getting the ball. Okay, fine, we're going to go somewhere else then. Yep. That opens up either Emma, she can do some of the similar things that Scout can do, or now maybe that they have to sag in or they have to help, and now we're going to get some of these outside shots that are going to fall. And, the girls are just stepping up, and we're not trying to force anything. We're just kind of taking what's there, and, shots are going in right now, and we can't complain when shots are going in.
All right, that's for sure. And then just some other leaders. I'm just going to, these will take 30 seconds, Coach. 16th in assists, McKenna Kumo, 2.6. 12th in offensive rebounds per game, Emma with 2.2. 2nd in free throw percentage, Lydia Model, 78.7%. 7th in free throw percentage, McKenna Kumo, 75%. 5th in steals per game, Lydia Model, 2.9 per game. 10th in 3-point percentage shooting, Lydia Model at 33.8%. And sixth in the EDC in block shots per game, 1.4 was Taya. She had 29 in the year. That was huge too for the.
Yeah, I mean Taya's defense and some things that she did. She's able to block some shots, and once she gets one, then you're able to change some shots. She's not 6'1", 6'2", but puts herself in a pretty good position and gets away with a lot of stuff in there. So all these things work together for us, and it's been a while since we've had so many girls in the statistical categories that have been in the EDC. And last year, I don't think we had anybody. I think we might have had one, and that would have been in free throws. And Coach Ralph talked about all conference. We did get one player on all conference in scout, and we certainly had a couple girls who were probably worthy of being all conference as well. But it's just the nature of the beast. It's a Fargo machine, and it's tough for us to get more than one girl, even though they may be deserving to be all conference. I mean, we can nominate all that we want, but I can only give them one vote apiece, and they have to get votes from other places, and it's just difficult, and it's unfortunate. There's even players who weren't on my team who I felt had a good enough season to be all conference, and they weren't selected all conference. And Coach Ralph had said, sometimes it comes down to how many games you win. I don't think it really matters if you're able to be, let's say, top 5 in scoring, and you're also one of the top rebounders in the conference. And I think you're probably all conference, no matter how many wins your team has. But it is what it is, and coaches vote the way they want to vote, and we have to live with that. But I certainly think there's players on our team who had all conference type of years, even though they weren't selected all conference, and that's helped our team get to the state tournament. I think they would gladly, they wouldn't trade going to the state tournament for an all conference bid. I think they'll take going to the state tournament in return.
Yep, I think so too. Well, Coach, I don't have anything else for you there. That's the stuff I wanted to talk to you about. The last title that Wahpeton won was back in 1986 for the girls, and they beat Fargo South 56-55. So I'd like to talk about that sometime in the near future with you.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a long time since the Wahpetons won a championship. There was a long lull of getting to the state tournament. The first time we went in 2013. It had been 27 years since we've been back. So it's just nice for our program to kind of get to the state tournament. It's going to be my 4th trip in 12 years. And, I think this one is I don't want to say it's a bit of a surprise, but I think I think for some people, they feel like we have a pretty good team that might have a good run here in the future, and it might be a little bit early for us to make it. But we're coming together and playing our good basketball at the right time. Like I always say, we're just a JV team. Well, we're at that point where we've become a varsity team, and you can see the maturity that's happened, and we're able to have it pay off here at playoff time.
And they're figuring it out, and it's a good experience to get on that big floor at NDSU and then going over to Bismarck and playing.
We're certainly going to have our hands full against the number 1 team in the state, 48 in a row, defending state champs 2-3 years in a row, whatever it is. But hey, we're going to go play our game and see what happens.
Give it a whirl.
That's right.
What time do you leave? You leave tomorrow?
We're going to leave tomorrow at 2. Yep. And
had a send-off today?
Had a send-off today. It was great. A lot of fun in the gym. And yeah, I just want to say thank you to everyone who's kind of come forward and donated funds for our trip to state. People are just coming out of the woodwork to just kind of give and make sure that we have enough and what we need in order to get to the state tournament. And if I had to list everyone, it would be impossible. But I just want to, especially our booster club has done a great job. Three Borders has done a great job. Hornstein Family Chiropractic, just to name a few. And there's some other people who want to remain anonymous who have given to the program here to help us get to state. So I just thank you to anyone and everyone out there that has donated to us here to make this trip possible and to make it a great experience for our girls, because it is an experience that's going to be going to leave a lot of memories for them, whether we win or lose. And that's what it's all about is making these memories, this journey that they're going through right now.
Just seeing those pictures of the joy and how they all took it at the end of the game on Saturday, and then seeing the locker room with you. And again, I'm not picking on you again because of
it was a lot of fun, Joe. I mean, you had to be fun. You work so hard to get to a certain point. You have a goal in mind, and then to be able to get it done, and just to be able to have that release and be able to celebrate, it's just a lot of fun to be able to experience that. And this trip to state is different than any of the other three that I've been to. It's just a different team. It's a young team. You know, sometimes I feel like they don't even know what they're doing. They're doing all these good things and they don't even know it. And I think, you know, finally on Saturday they realized exactly what they had done. And it's just a huge accomplishment, and to see the smiles on their face. And, you know, I'm so happy for our seniors. Our seniors have been through a tough little stretch here. But those three guys have stuck it out, and they've led this young group. And it's, you know, even though some of them don't play as much, they're just a big part of us getting the state. And I'm just happy for them to be able to go out in their basketball, high school basketball career, going to the state tournament. It's just a lot of fun, and I'm just really proud of those guys. So
McKenna Brooder, Kylie Blado, and John.
Ion Allard, yep. So it's just been a great run for those guys, and I'm happy that they can go out on a high note.
Well, I know I'm speaking on behalf of a lot of people here in the community, Brian, from Wahpeton and even from Breckenridge, as the coaches have all congratulated you. But, you know, it's a very special time for the girls, and hope they all enjoy it and respect what's going on out there, and get that taste. And
yeah, I hope you get that taste and you want to go back for more. That's exactly right. So these girls, you know, some of these girls were in the fourth grade when we went in 2017. You know, so it's been a long time, and I think these guys now are going to kind of set that tradition of Lady Husky basketball. You know, when Erwin was here, you know, we're trying to build that tradition. You know, I think these guys now get to leave their own mark on the program for future Lady Huskies.
It's just a great time here for Husky fans, and I won't be able to get out there on Thursday. I got to go over and do a game over on the Breckenridge side of the river and cheer the Cowboys on, and I'll be watching and seeing how you guys are doing. We cannot go out to Bismarck and do those games. We'll just put it out there right now that we cannot go out there. We inquired, but WDAY has exclusivity rights to the boys and girls state tournaments, so we're not allowed to go out there and do any broadcasting at all. We'd sure love to be out there with you and the girls, but we cannot.
Yeah, we can't do it. It's going to be on WDAY, and unfortunately, the girls' quarterfinal rounds are not on TV. They're only going to be streamed. So they'll be on WDAY.com or Inforum.com. If you want to catch those games, there is a fee. I'm not sure what the fee is, but there is a fee. They're not being streamed for free. But the quarterfinal girls will be streamed, and I believe all of the games will be streamed. It's just at those boys' quarterfinals, and then the semis will be on TV, and then, of course, the championship games will be on TV too as well.
So, yeah, it's we wish we could get out there, but we can't, and I will be over in Breckenridge with the Cowboys and be wishing you guys well from afar. So that's what's and we offer everything for free because of the sponsors like this, and we appreciate all of our sponsors here on the sponsorship club that we have. We'll cover them when we come back. We're going to come back and we'll tie this all up in a neat bow and a neat ribbon, and we'll end this program here in a few minutes. We'll be right back.
Did you know that we serve nearly 1,500 square miles across North Dakota and Minnesota? Or that we've been around for over 60 years? How about that we've got 3,000 miles of fiber optics powering one of the best networks in the region? The best part? We're a cooperative. That means we're continually reinvesting in our communities to make them better than ever. We are Red River Communications. We've been recognized as a leader for helping our communities be great places to live and work. To find out how we're helping connect our communities, visit redrivercom.com/connect.
Since 1996, Giants have been a go-to snack for quality. Giants works directly with farmers to ensure you're receiving the best Giant seeds in every bag. From planting to harvest, they ensure the quality and attention sunflowers deserve to deliver the best taste possible. Giants cashews and pistachios continue our tradition of making the finest nut available. They're a fan favorite. Whether you're in the mood for dill pickle, sour cream and onion, or bacon ranch, we have the flavors to satisfy your cravings. Giant Snacks, where quality still matters. That's the Giants difference.
Welcome back to the Giants Coaches Show, powered by Red River Communications, Three Borders Sports Network. I'm Joe Schreiner, Brian Watson, Coach Watson, and the the Lady Huskies moving off to state here. They're leaving tomorrow afternoon. But we want to thank all of our sponsors here that have helped us through the winter season. Three Rivers Decorating, of course, Hornstein Family Chiropractic, Thrivent Financial, Superior Builders over in the Breckenridge side, Farmers Union Insurance, OSPTI, the Wilkin Drink and Eatery, Carlson Family Insurance, NDSCS, Red River Grain, of course, Gripper Sports. Can't forget Gripper Sports for all your favorite team sports apparel. Stop down and see Tyler and Wayne. They're getting some state gear ready for you guys.
Yes, they are. That's right.
So, Giant Snacks, of course, our sponsor here for the TV show here that we've got. All Seasons Car Wash, State Farm Insurance, and Amanda Frederick, First Community Credit Union, Wahpeton Daily News, Brooder's Butcher, the Wilkin, Bell Bank, Casey's Bar, Red River Valley Western Railroad, Comdell, and Heartland Precision, Bold Print, Interstate Engineering, Mindak Farmers Cooperative. Don't forget that $2,000 sign-on bonus. And in the hockey games, we had Richland IFC. We had Three Rivers Decorating, Three Rivers Crisis Center for Wahpeton games, Vaterstad, Wilrich, Concord, Wishick for Wahpeton games, and Red River Human Services for Wahpeton games. And, of course, we can never forget the Wahpeton All Sports Booster Club. What a winter season it's been. We were looking at our schedule here for the spring broadcast, too. That's getting kind of...
There's a lot of games on there.
So we'll see what we can do about that. But I haven't even put the coaches show dates in there yet.
Oh, my.
Yeah, so we've got some stuff coming up here this spring, folks. We'll be working on some things, too, as well. And again,
hopefully we're hoping to get some sports that you don't see very often.
Right.
So we know we're going to do another track meet because that was just a blast.
Yep.
And then we're hoping to maybe do some tennis, maybe. We'll see.
some girls tennis.
Yeah. So.
And maybe a little bit more BW softball.
Yeah, we only got one game in last year. We'd like to get a little more softball games in there too as well. So
got them on the schedule as well.
Yep.
So if you're looking to do any sponsorship with us, get a hold of Raleigh or Julie or myself or Brian, or send us an email at Three Borders Sports
Network at gmail.com.
And that's the number 3. So Brian, again, on behalf of the community here in town, and I know it's been a lot of publicity here for you in the paper and everything. We sure wish you the best of luck, you and the girls.
Thanks. We're gonna do our best to represent our school and our community and our town the best that we can. Go out there and win or lose, we're gonna play it till the end and do our best. So.
And it's not, there's 4 teams out of the East that go, 4 out of 11, but it's not as easy for a small town like Wahpeton to be able to go. And
we're up against the machine, man. We are. I mean,
and then you look at Century, my gosh.
Yep. So, but hey,
anyway.
I know there's some talk of 3-class system, and that'll be good for us to be able to compete. But as long as we're in Class A, I want to go up against these big schools, and I want to show them what we got. And I think our girls this year have done a good job of showing them exactly who we are. Yep. You can get us a couple times, but when it really counts, we're going to come at you, and that's what we did. So I'm really happy right now.
Yep. That's it.
That's it, dude. I gotta go pack.
Oh, you poor thing.
I haven't even started packing yet.
All right. Don't forget, Austin Emdeck and myself will have the Cowboys basketball game tip at 7 p.m. on Thursday night right here on Three Borders Sports Network. We're going to try and get that on channel 125 as well. And B-Dub and the girls are out in Bismarck at 1 o'clock.
We are 1 o'clock tomorrow, or Thursday, live from the event center.
Tomorrow at 2-ish.
Leaving tomorrow at 2. We're going to stop in Jamestown and practice, and then head on to Bismarck.
All right, buddy. Good luck to you and the girls.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
For Brian Watson, I'm Joe Schreiner. Good night, everybody.